if it looks if it looks like a fucking duck and it sounds like a duck and it acts like a duck, then it's a duck in your opinion, because that's just what our natural mind is telling us to think. Now, if we would investigate a little further and try to do a little bit more digging up and ask a little more questions, then it's like you'll know. Like, and that's why I don't completely. Okay, I might give a little hints like, yeah. So have you ever dated a girl or whatever? Like just to see if that's even in her mind state. You know what I mean? Because if it's not, then there's no way you're gonna even be able to get into her mind to let her know exactly what you are and how you carry yourself and what you like to be identified with. And it's just it's crazy. It's crazy for real, because I see where a lot of people struggle at with that, because it's like you don't know how to for real come out and tell somebody, okay, I'm not I'm not a man. I was born a female. I mean, that's just something that even if you don't know the person that well, you don't want to see you don't want to hear the response or the negative bullshit that comes along with opening up and actually feeling comfortable to tell somebody that. It's like you you just really have to be comfortable with this person. Um, so it's like I don't know. I'm just like it's just something. It's something with that. It's like honesty is the key. Communication is the key. But how exactly do you find the right words to, say to this person that you want to be with? It's different if you just trying to, smash real quick, I'm smash, I'm out, you know what I mean? She'll never know. She ain't gonna never even hear from me again, but it's different if you find this one person, and you're like, damn, I kind of want to be with her, you know what I mean? I'm digging her, whatever. How can I really let her know that this is me? That there's no going back, that the transition is in progress, and what you see is not a stud, and that's just like, I don't know, that's another thing. People get that confused, and I still get labeled as a stud for real. But it's like, I'm not a stud though, you know what I'm saying? I mean, just because I dress like this, dress like a nigga, whatever, whatever. Some studs do, but it's just the principle that studs are comfortable with their female body. Studs don't have any issues with that. They're satisfied, they're content with being a female, you know? And FTMs just, they struggle with the idea every day of having these body parts and pretty much cannot deal with it and cannot live with it, and it's a constant depression. And it's like, I don't know, I want somebody to be able to understand that FTMs and studs are different, you know what I mean? People need to understand and do research before you like jump to conclusions and shit and try to label everybody as this just because of what they're dressed as. Just because I see a femme dressed as a femme necessarily doesn't mean she's a femme, because the next day I might see her dressed as a stud and I'm like, what the fuck? That's confusing as hell, for real. But I mean, that's just some people's way of life, you know what I mean? They want to be STEM, so I'm not going to judge nobody if they want to be both femme and man, masculine, feminine and masculine. I mean, who am I to judge them? Because I don't want nobody to judge me based on uh, the fact that I decided to transition, and I don't want nobody to judge me just because I'm not comfortable with my female body. Like, that just goes to show, like, when I'll be talking to some girls, getting their opinions on like how they act with their girlfriends or their boyfriends, whatever. Like, so like when you with your boy, like, I mean, do they like being touched? You know what I mean? That's how you know if you're dealing with a stud or a FTM or not too, because I mean, even when I tried to consider myself a stud. You know, and I'm not gonna say I don't really accept the label. I mean, because that's just what some people see me as right now, as a stud, whatever. But even if I don't accept the label, I just still have to try to understand everybody's point of view, you know. And some people's not gonna accept you wanting to be a man, but it's really not up to them. You know what I mean? Especially if they're not in your family, and especially if they're not doing shit for you. Fuck them for real. But yeah, that's I was trying to go to a point like, all right, sorry about that, but if you're in the bedroom and you're with your boyfriend or whatever, and they like to be touched, they like you grabbing their titties, whatever, they like. Like, I just can't even, I don't even like saying that shit, you know what I mean? It's just fucking crazy, pussy and shit. Like, I don't even like to hear it from my point of view as far as me even having that. Nah, man, I'm good. I refer to my shit as my dick. Flat out, man. Like, whatever, man. You're not fucking, man. Hey, I don't even, like, on some real shit, man. I can't even, I don't like nobody touching my titties. Like, I don't know. If you're rubbing my chest, like, oh, yeah, okay, whatever. Whatever, that's cool. But if you try to grab my shit like a femme, like I'm gonna grab yours, I'm good. I'm good on that. Like, on some real shit. Like, it just bothers me, you know, like, and how some people can't accept the fact that this is really you, and that you still feel like they still feel you gonna want to be touched in those parts and in those areas, like grabbing my ass and shit. Like, I feel like that's gay as fuck, dude, on some real shit. I feel like it's super gay, but whatever, man. I guess. I mean, if I'm with somebody and they like that shit, I'll let them do it to a certain extent. And it's just even like with the whole idea of head and oral, you know, cuteness or fellatio, whatever, oral sex, whatever. I I can't really accept. I don't really like females going down on me. I don't. I don't know. Maybe that's weird. Maybe it's just the idea because I have a fucking vagina, man. Like, it's just not the same. Like, I get more turned on if they touching my packer and shit. Like, oh, that shit is turning me on. You know what I mean? Like, if you touching my shit, not my vagina, but my dick. If you touching that, that's gonna turn me on. You know what I mean? I could probably get into it a lot more if you trying to push your fingers and shit in my pussy. Like, are you fucking serious, dude? I don't know. And it's just like, I don't know. That's just my view. I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but like that's another way to, I think, distinguish FTMs from studs and shit, because FTMs don't really get into all that. Like, everything, the way they act is just gonna be masculine, even sex wise. You know what I mean? And but like I was saying, again with the dating, if you if you're with somebody and maybe not even necessarily with them, but if you're just dating and you're looking and you're searching for someone, then I would just say um, not to really disclose that information until you really know them better, until you're prepared to take it to the next step, too, because it's something they don't need to know, especially if they're not open-minded, and especially if they haven't really been exposed to that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's already hard being an FTM as it is, having to just live your life and having to deal with ridicules and fucking judgments and shit. Like, you know, nobody's trying to deal with that shit on some real. So, like, just fucking find that one that is gonna accept you for being that way. And if you don't plan on making it serious, then fuck it. Keep it moving on some real shit. That's just how I feel. But this your nigga Breion, aka BJ. I'm out.